Okay, Dwayne, I think this will be the last question. After this, we'll hand over to Kelsey. Um, I Joseph has this concern that when singing the new song, especially in Africa, there are many disturbances. We have mosquitoes. Sometimes you have uh, some flies, some noises, some smoke. In fact, just things that reduce one's concentration. So he asked, while continuing to sing the new song, just like something mechanical, without maybe some concentration or focus, does it still have any impact?
Okay, that's very simple, and it is very simple what to do, and that is that singing the new you is really secondary to your intent. So when the intent is there and you're sincere, you're grateful, you're humble, etc., and you are, wanting to see this reality how it is, well, singing the new you is something that you add to that, okay? So this is just something that kind of helps you along like a better fuel for your car. And so listening to the situation, yes, we all have our situation. Sometimes we're freezing in the room. Sometimes it's too cold, it's too hot, or whatever. So in his situation with all the bugs, maybe he could get into a plastic bag and sing the new you. And I'm just kidding. Okay. They make really big, hefty bags. Okay. And so you figure it out. You learn to compensate and figure it out. So it's not the mechanics of what we're doing so much, all right? It's the reality of our being and the intent and what we decide. In other words, this is where I came up with the idea that relates to this UP, a universal positioning. So when it was Paul, it was soul travel. You moved from here to there, okay? Which is really a fallacy. This is what we have in creation, but yes, we have this so-called movement, but really we're always now. So everything is to be recognized now. So with UP, universal positioning, you decide your position and you stand real there and you become more aware because of the position you've decided, you see? And let me say one more thing here, and that is that when I was with Paul as an example and what he wrote and said, well, I took the time to pick it apart constantly. See, when you're giving this translation to anyone, Charles, there's a lot that's not being said because you're not going to get it all. So there's a lot that is lost according to what I've written or said, the best I can for here in the physical. There's a whole lot that is lost. So, you might say, as the educator here, you really have to take the time to really pick it apart. And at the same time, when you're translating it, you see the difference there. And this is where these individuals, they too must learn to pick it apart to see that. It really takes time. So that's what I did all the time. I really studied that. Plus, at the time, it was the spiritual exercise. I really focused on that. I used to lock myself in the bathroom with a mattress and be in there for half a day sometimes, just doing whatever it is to focus, just to let the outside world go, whatever it is, whatever position it takes, or go by the ocean and listen to the ocean, or go to a mountaintop sometimes. Sometimes, just walk away, take a long walk. And while I'm walking, I see a lot, and this is where walking is good as one example. I used to like to drive my car out there or what have you, but I don't need the car right now. So it is really a study all its own. Instead of always looking for a quick fix, look at how to figure it out so that you don't need anything fixed anymore. You see? So this is the age where all these things come up, all this phenomena, and they make all these products to make your life better. Well, yeah, we use these gadgets. I do too. I play with these little toys. But guess what? It's going to do nothing for your real awareness until you decide to focus there, etc. And it's more than any comforting spiritual idea. It's more than peace and peace on earth and loving your fellow man. You know, you don't have to like your neighbors to succeed with this. Okay, you don't have to like the world even, etc. That's a choice. But I suggest that each person study, study, study what makes sense and figure it out. Then all of a sudden, one day you'll start to see it and go, wow, now I see it. But it will only be you, and you'll try to relate it to others. Good luck. It's a toughie. You'd think, oh, gee, it's so simple. And it is, like the sun shining. It is so simple, but it's everything. And so, how is it that you can describe and define everything life is? You can't. So, we are the experiencer, we are the view. For me, life comes first. I'm not first. Life comes first because life is everything. You decide how you're going to place yourself with the whole of life. Are you coming first? Is it all about you? Well, then you're just going to be chasing you like a dog chases its tail. Yeah. Or is life first and you figure it out to where life shines? You are life. It shines in you. Yeah, it's a heck of a challenge. So, yeah, because a lot is lost in the translation, Charles. So it's a real challenge, just like Ava is translating the books into German, but she's very focused on it. You might say it's a serious business to her, and she wants to get it the best that she can because she's learning at the same time so she can better relate to others. She's making that effort. Life sees our intent. Life already knows what your intent is because everybody is standing in the whole of life. It's just the difference being is they don't recognize it yet, but it sees it also. Nothing can be hidden, and there's no reason to try and hide anything. Just be real and open, and then life will share with you. And when you start to recognize this reality and it recognizes that you recognize it, well, this recognition becomes everything because that's your real freedom to where you have no more restrictions. And this is how the real universe's isness is, and that is no authorities, no restrictions, no nonsense. Everything makes sense, and it's more real than you can even consider anything here. So is it worth it to keep chasing this lifetime, this life and what's in it? Basically, you deal with it because you're just growing older in the physical body. And if you haven't recognized this isness, then you're trapped with the mind and emotions, and everybody's going to cry upon your grave or whatever it is or what have you. It's going to be the same old situation, and you're going to cry for others. Is that work? When my mother left here, the mother that I had this lifetime, just let her go. She's on her own journey. I was totally detached. There was no funeral or anything. Had her cremated. That was it. It's done. Bye. You know, she's on her own journey. She's making her choices. She wasn't interested in what I was doing. Okay, fine. I'm doing what I'm doing. I don't have time to consider that because that was a situation that was somebody that I knew respectfully. It's all fine. And it's best to let them go. It's best to let yourself go from all these attachments and ideas and simply focus on what makes sense, what's real, more so than the air you breathe and the sun shining. Yeah, there's a lot more. Do you want to see it? Well, it's all about your intent. And so the new you is simply something that you focus on, and it helps set up a situation for you to recognize this is where it's not where you become, I'm more spiritual now because I sit in a lotus position and I hum all day, okay? And I'm at peace with myself. It's not about that. It's about becoming more aware and recognizing what is real more so than anything in creation, but at the same time seeing what creation is so you have this comparison to better continually recognize the isness now, every moment. Go ahead, Charles.
Yeah, Duane, thank you for that that briefer on the translations. Uh, it is unfortunate that every other person who reads your works will not have the original. The original can only be in English, and there is no way that you can have the full uh, uh, rendering of it in another language, or else it will just be some mumbo jumbo, some word, some literal translation that makes no sense at all. And so, well, the new wavis has chosen the English language, and which is the original, and every other person will just make do with a translation. But if the translator uh, has a good grasp of what you are trying to put across, then the meaning will not be lost at all. The meaning will not be lost. It will not be there. It will still be there, but uh, uh, those who are reading in a second language would not have that luxury of enjoying all your twists and turns and the fun that you make, the humor that you create that you put in some uh, of the works, the writing, and so that is a privilege for those who speak English, who speak and write English. Unfortunately, the others can only have uh, something that has been watered down through translation, not really watered down in terms of meaning, but in terms of form. In terms of form. So I think the more one does it, the more one is, I think, the real guides inspire us, they show us, they even assist in these translations, because if one's intention is pure, one wants to help to get the message out there, the good news out there, then there's always a way. And like Harold was used to say, that the Mahanta, or what had chosen English, the Eggmasters had chosen English. Want to say that the New Wavis has also chosen English, and everyone has to make do with what is rendered in another language without all the beauty, the references, the twists and turns that can only be in English. So that's what I want to say. Oui, tonton Jeff?
Oui, présent.
Bon, Duane a dit que, bon, à propos de ce que tu as posé là, la question, il dit que chanter le nous est secondaire à notre intention. Si on a une intention pure, une focus pure, le son de nous, c'est comme le carburant seulement. Donc, malgré qu'il y a les dérangements, les moustiques, la fumée, les bruits dehors et tout ça, ça n'a rien à faire. Quand l'intention est là pour connecter avec la grande réalité de la vie, tu vois, c'est ça qui importe. Donc tout ça, chanter le son, nous, avec concentration, et tout ça, ça n'a rien à faire, ça n'affecte pas l'intention que tu as déjà dans la conscience. Donc, je pense que ces réponses, ça te fait plaisir.
Oui, très plaisir. Seulement moi-même, mais beaucoup des amis nous friends se posent.
Oui. Ah, je sais. En Afrique, les moustiques, il y a les moustiques qui te piquent même, tu arrêtes pour les tuer.
Moi, j'ai fait l'expérience. Ici, il y a des montagnes qui sont censées avoir les Andes, comme on les appelle, les Andes. Les montagnes, les hautes montagnes qui ont les sommets plus élevés. Et les gens vont là-bas chanter. Bon, une fois que je suis allé là-bas, moi aussi, je me suis taillé un petit coin. C'est dans la brousse. Je me suis installé, j'ai commencé à chanter. C'est comme si j'ai fait des fourmis, des reptiles, des oiseaux. Donc, toute la nature était tombée sur moi, à tel point que c'était entré dans les habits. J'ai arrêté, je me suis débarrassé, je suis parti.
Bon, comme l'intention était déjà là, l'intention qui est pure, pour connecter avec la grande réalité de la vie, malgré tous ces dérangements, la connexion était là. C'est ça.
Vraiment. Vraiment, ça rassure quand même. Parfois, on me disait, mais est-ce que j'ai bien chanté? Est-ce que réellement le chant est parti?
Ok. C'est ça. Merci. Okay, Duane, are you hearing me?
Yes, Charles, and I was going to say, to finish this up, that the best translation of any of this will come from the real side, as the person pays attention and learns to recognize it. So even though there is whatever is taking place here, this is very secondary to the real side and recognizing it. So whatever is being said here or learned or written, what have you, for everyone, look to the real side and learn to recognize what is taking place. That becomes the real translation. This is very secondary. So there's always that option, and that's the fun part. That's the adventure. And once you figure out that challenge, well, you got it. You can run it. Have fun.
Oh, thank you, Ben. Yeah, really, really. Well, Joseph is very happy with your answer about singing the new song with all the distractions around. He says that is the concern of many of the Congo new friends. He even talks about narrates an experience where they decided to go up an elevation to a hill, almost a mountain, to sing the new song. And he said his experience there was really not a good one. All kinds of things falling on him, leaves and insects and all this. So he really asked himself why he even went there. And the new song session was disrupted by all the external forces. I said, so he's very happy what you've said, and he's going to communicate it with to all the other new friends, because you've said once focus and intention is to connect with the true reality life is. The new song itself becomes secondary. singing the new song becomes secondary to the intention. So they are very happy with. He's very happy with that answer, and he's going to reassure the other friends not to be bothered, because they're always asking themselves, are they really singing the new song with any concentration and all the like? Again, these ideas from other groups, I don't know, other studies and all, like you must be concentrated, you must be this and that. So it was bothering them. So it's very happy with your answer. So, and that is all for today. I would like to hand over to Kelsey now. Kelsey.
Real fast, Charles. Hold on a second, Kelsey.
Okay.
Yeah, and yes, the singing the new you is important too. It's an aid, okay, but it's your intent, it's your sincerity, it's your heart and being. In other words, if it's like the love of your life, you see, so that's your intent. And then at the same time, you sing along with the new you. So that's secondary, and you just do it how you do it. And also, I would test the bag theory idea. That might work too. So have fun with that. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Hello, Kelsey.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so this call will be in this chat here when it's over, when we all hang up. And it'll also be on new Kevin Smith's YouTube channel, so you can re-listen to it or share it with others. And the previous Skype calls are on new Kevin Smith's YouTube channel also. And this evening, every Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, we have a call on Skype. So everyone is welcome to join that at 6 p.m. Pacific time, California time, tonight, Saturday, and every Saturday. And on the 10th, this next coming up Friday, the 10th, at 10 p.m. in the evening, there's a Skype call for anyone that would like to join that. And then the 12th on Sunday is back with Kevin on Zoom at 10 a.m. And I wanted to let you guys know that we also have a lot of radio shows that are going on during the week and Facebook Lives. Kevin Smith has done a second book of his Real Side Experiences. If you'd like to read that, then contact Kevin. And Val is also reading Kevin's first book of his Real Side Experiences nightly at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. So you can watch Val live reading, and you can ask questions and communicate on Facebook Live with Val every night at 7:30 p.m. And something else, but yeah, just look at blogtalkradio.com/Kelsey Lynn Brown, and I'll put the link in this chat here because that's where all of the radio shows are archived. Kevin has radio shows with Gwen and Peter, Kevin himself. Tim is doing shows during the week. Lila and Ariana are doing shows. Val. And so Sandy and Bob as well. And you can also listen to a lot of the radio shows on new Kevin Smith's YouTube channel. He is putting a lot of the shows on his YouTube channel also. And just look at the wonderful worldwideeducators.com and the Become Involved tab for any of the Skype calls or radio show or Zoom times and how to actually join those. So there's always a link at the top of these Skype calls when you click on the name of it. So this one is Africa Skype call. And when you click on it, there's actually a button that says share link. And you can copy that link and give it to others so that they can hop on this call. And I think that's how Lila got on this call today because we weren't able to add her. So you can share around a link to let others join. Okay. And if you have any questions about anything, just contact me. And we have a lot of interviews that we do on Henry's Facebook also, Henry Draper, and on Kelsey Lynn Brown Facebook, we're doing some interviews too, and we'll upload them. Many of them are uploaded on my YouTube channel, Kelsey Lynn Brown. There's a lot of interviews that we've been doing, actually with video interviews on Kelsey Lynn Brown YouTube.
Do you. Thank you, Charles, and everyone for showing up. It's all for you. Here's the real adventure at last. Have fun with it. Take it to heart and being, and yes, it will show up. So.